switch over now, I guess.
Okay. Let me know when I'm live.
Alright. Hey guys. We're back.
Hello?
I'm still here.
Yeah! This guy's still here. And
You're
I'm
not
somehow
getting rid
alive.
of me. And Allegro is alive. He didn't die in a tornado.
Yeah. That was
That
a,
tornado.
The tornado.
He might have not had a tornado, but his run is still gonna blow you away.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, Team Dark. Yeah, I guess in 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm counting on you guys.
Good luck, have fun.
Yep. So yeah, Team Dark. Team Dark is going to be playing similarly to Team Sonic. Hardly any differences except for, well, the obvious thing, stage layouts. Stages are going to be much longer, and with bot boosting, it's going to be a bit of a different setup compared to the Team Sonic, since Omega has a bigger hitbox, but we'll get to that later.
The bot boosts in That Hill and Alice are also in Team Dark, but they are, like, because of their setup, they are arguably even more difficult. So,
Yeah.
I do not blame you at all for not going for that in the match.
Yeah, I don't feel like going for the first 2 bot boosts that I would normally go for, but it's just way too risky for this setting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Used to actually not have too much trouble with darks, but I've honestly gained more consistent at super hard mode Seaside Hill bot boost than I am with this.
Apparently my audio is a bit low, so I'm gonna go ahead and up my microphone.
Oh, whoops, I accidentally swapped to Rouge for some reason. It might be something on my end that I have to fix.
Alright. Maybe. So yeah, this is the highest I can put it at. I'll also just, you know, stay close to my microphone. Hopefully this works.
And I'm dead.
Can we take you down? There we go.
Oh, yeah. the layouts for Team Dark stages are kind of weird, honestly.
Yeah, they're kind of strange.
But yeah, if the game suddenly looks like a little bit faster to you compared to what you just saw from Ford, that is because Allegro is playing on PAL 60.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. So he recently switched to that because of super hard mode, since it's faster in real time, even though these categories run by in-game time. But yeah, it basically just made him alter his entire muscle memory so that he now does every category on PAL 60. PAL 60 runs 20% faster, so the movement is going to be extra fast.
Indeed.
And for those who don't know what PAL 60 is, the European versions of GameCube games, they and that general era of games really, they tend to have like a 50 Hz option, which is the native one for GameCube games and stuff like that. For European games rather, and they have 60 Hz option, which would normally put it on par with like the American and Japanese version. Because like that also relates to the frame rate and all that kind of stuff. And what they would normally do is the 50 Hz function would run slower, which is the case with a lot of European games. But with Sonic Heroes, they decided to just go ahead and adjust that one properly so that it's equal to the American and Japanese versions. And then they did PAL 60 anyway, because why not? So now it's 20% faster.
Yep. They did not program this game that well for a lot of spots, so you can tell from Ford's run, and you're probably gonna see it maybe in Deco's run from some spots.
This is what real speed looks like. Alright, so even though Team Dark also has these speed shoes at the end of the bobsled, they cannot go for the same glide that I tried to go for in super hard mode, just because the speed pad doesn't give you as much speed.
Yep.
They just barely can't reach it, which is a shame.
Yep.
Otherwise we could turn it in the exact same reset hell.
wrong with me?
So
Oh yeah, just go through Seaside Hill. Nice.
yeah, aside
Good
from
a
that death,
Yeah.
can't do that much about it. I lost a lot of my flight, and
Mm-hmm.
the sea is a cruel mistress.
Indeed. When you like get into the air without expecting it, then you try to jump, you accidentally start a flight, and then it tends to be kind of hard to recover from that.
Okay, so Ocean Palace, it's pretty much similar to what's going to be going on with Team Sonic as well, in the super hard mode, but it's just, I don't know, it's not very different. I just don't have much to say on that. Yeah, like
the layouts for Team Dark it's probably like a good. It's a mix between normal Team Sonic and super hard mode Team Sonic. It's like right in between. Because then, like I said, you have super hard mode as the hardest difficulty, and you have Team Rose as the easiest difficulty. Team Sonic is kind of normal mode. Team Dark is hard mode. So it's right in between there.
Yeah, they try to emphasize more enemies with Team Dark, especially since Team Dark's extra missions involve just defeating like 100 enemies per stage. Oop. So yeah, now we get to see Turtles.
Yeah, Turtles. Can't believe Turtles have been in every run of Heroes today.
Yep.
They have no right to be, but Turtles are finally getting some love. As are the frogs in chat, apparently.
Frogs. Yeah.
That's that boy.
At least I'll be going for Frog Force bot boost down the line. Alright, so be coming up on the Rolling Rocks section pretty soon here.
With the lovely rubber banding.
Yep.
Something we actually do for the very first rock is we specifically like do not kick, and we don't try to land further on the path. We just let ourselves fall and then we hold down, otherwise the rubber banding will kill us. The rock can hit you through the loop after you've already hit the ramp. It will destroy you in many ways.
Yep. Now, I forget what Shadow's version of it's called. I think it's just a Black Tornado, but tries to do that against the wall. He'll just get a bit of a boost upwards. So it just kind of cancels out. And I can just reach spring without having to swap to flight.
Yeah, the tornado is, while it is a long animation, it is very good for saving, because if you hold A at the end of it, then you can get a lot of height out of it. And you can cancel it against when you're like hugging a wall as well, so you don't have to even have to deal with the long animation.
Yep. Also, shoutouts to the thunder out in the background. I don't know if my mic's picking that up, but...
I'm not hearing it.
Okay, good.
Oh, speaking of thunder, there's supposed to be a severe thunderstorm here tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
Don't die.
I live in the middle of nowhere, so the power is not very stable. So we'll see how this goes tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't go out.
Hopefully no dead stream.
No, that's right, please.
That'd be fine.
Alright, so with Egghawk, the strategy's pretty much the same across all the teams. And unfortunately I didn't lure Egghawk far enough away, but I can still save this. But just kind of lure him back onto the beach behind you. Just use your invincibility to just attack him. Just send a barrage of fire dunks.
The fire dunks, much like the thunder shoot, it can damage your teammates in the process, so it's very nice to have the invulnerability for that. But yeah, it's not too uncommon with these teams that you don't go far enough back. It's a similar problem that you have with Team Rose, where big hitbox makes it more difficult to get rocket excels.
Yep, it's just it's really down to
Omega's
breaking the
fat ass.
crate fast enough. All right, so this usually Grand Metro is probably my least favorite stage to play with Team Sonic, but this is probably one of my favorite stages with Dark.
It's actually a really good Team Dark stage, yeah.
So
I can agree with that.
yeah, So starting out here with this light dash, if I swap to Omega quick enough, I'll actually preserve the speed. Okay, I'll actually get a little bit more speed, but now Shadow wants to go backwards.
Yeah, that's what happens when you kick in the wrong part and then the game just decides, no, you're going back.
Yeah, that was a bit of a distraction, that wasn't it? So, with Omega there, when I'm in power formation, my teammates will actually just kind of randomly attack the enemies that are surrounding you. So, that was the thing.
Dude, nice. You got caught on the.
I got caught on the wall.
The path. It's like you still got like launched upwards because of the moving path, but since you were on the side of it, of course, eventually you fell and died.
Yeah, that was. I've never had that happen before.
I have.
Of course you have. You've been playing this game like 3 years longer than me.
It's like whenever I see other people die in ways, it's like, oh wow, I've never died like that before, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I have.
So yeah, I clipped under the bridge there. I just have to, when I'm doing flight, I have to make sure I get rid of Omega so I can have enough room to clip up.
And Omega is pretty much the only difference between Team Sonic and Team Dark in terms of moveset. It's like, because like Rouge and Shadow have the same moves as Sonic and Tails. But Omega is very different compared to Knuckles. His finishers are not nearly as good, except for his level 3 one. And he is slippery as all heck. Like I know Paulie was talking about the slipperiness. The one that you can't complain about is Omega. He is a ballerina on ice.
That's the best way of explaining it. Also, bot boost. With Team Dark, you can get bot boost through turtles. So, Team Sonic cannot do bot boosts off turtles. They're literally the only team that can't do that, unless there's something I'm not understanding about that.
No, you can do it with Chaotix as well. It's just not useful at any point. Same with Rose.
Yeah.
But basically, the reason why you can't do it with Sonic is because of the turtle's weird hitbox.
So yeah.
But yeah, that is the ultimate method of getting bot boosts with other teams. Because hello, that pole. Yeah, let's explain that pole, shall we?
Yeah, so that pole I hit. What I did was I went into Team Blast, and what happens is, oh boy, don't kill me. Okay, it's always gonna be something when I'm trying to explain something. But when I do the Team Blast, it gives me an effect of freezing the game in place, so I'm able to. The timer will basically stop, and some other properties will also stop. And for some reason, whenever you use that Team Blast effect, you can the pole's hitbox is active, even if you haven't hit the switch. So yeah, that's a thing. And now it might be seen later if I don't get a certain strat in Hang Castle, but hopefully I won't resort to that.
I think they actually did that intentionally, and it's mostly because whenever you're like the time is stopped, the pole cannot go up. So it's like, okay, we don't want them to be stuck here. Let's just make the pole active when time is stopped.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that. I think it might not be intentional, but I'm gonna give them this one.
There's a lot of things we still can't really figure out about this game.
Let's go.
Alright, so Power Plant's very similar to Team Sonic with the super hard mode in terms of layout. There's just not too much different.
It's like rather than golden turtles, you have normal turtles, and
in the last elevator, it's much easier to skip.
And also, there's also more level ups around, so you can actually get level 2 Rouge consistently at the start here. Which is very nice to have, because at level 2, once again, the Thunder Shoot does damage, which is very nice for the vertical stages like Power Plant. With a lot of flying enemies.
Also, I wanted to pick up the speed shoes there so I can just kind of jump the gap here. So I won't have to set up a Rock XL. And also lets me just kind of clear this gap with ease. Oh.
Indeed. That gap is kind of difficult to skip with the other teams. Just because you like gotta time your jump really right. But with the speed shoes, it's absolutely easy.
Okay.
Once again, they don't really give much speed while on the ground, but they give the same amount of speed in the air. Does that make sense for shoes? And yeah, that was an enemy. Now, one thing that many people don't know about the Team Blast is, or rather the artifact of it, the time stop, is that you can actually cancel it by pressing the Team Blast button.
Yep. That's going to be very useful for the robot fights later down the line. Also, I could have canceled through the air booster there, but I was kind of given a pretty jank setup. So, couldn't really, I couldn't skip any air boosters off that, but... Yeah.
It's okay if you, like, you just get a slower elevator skip instead. You can still skip the elevator, which is all good, no other scrollers. Yeah!
Alright. Not, skip this little section here, but that's fine. It's pretty easy to just quickly move on. If you have level 2 Rouge.
Those ramp jumps are precise. They're very small ramps.
It's not as bad with Team Sonic because you wouldn't have to swap to power beforehand. Because if you use Rouge there, you will you'll just stop completely in your tracks. And apparently, oh, okay. Ah! I'm getting shot.
You okay there, buddy?
No! I'm
oh man,
still
no,
alive.
You are getting wrecked.
Yes, I am. I usually never have that much trouble with this.
Yeah, unfortunately Rouge took one of your rings, so you couldn't get the light dash right away, and yeah, the attack cycle of the robots was off because of it, so you got completely destroyed.
Yep. So I'm just gonna use Team Blast here because it's faster. It's just to keep in mind that Team Dark has the fastest Team Blast out of all of the teams, with Rose being right behind them and Chaos being the slowest.
Yeah, it's like with Team Sonic and Team Chaotix, we try to avoid using Team Blast as much as possible, just because their enemies are usually easy enough to deal with, and their animations are long. There are definitely times when you can't avoid it though.
There's a robot that's missing. Okay.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Hey.
I'm dead.
Never mind. We're not fine.
Now I gotta use homing attacks. Shoutouts to Thunder Shooting just being complete jank sometimes.
Hey, he was trying to hit a robot with his Thunder Shoot. There we go, screen. Didn't quite target it.
Okay, so pretty much coming up to the end here.
That's kind of the whole deal with Team Dark having like more robots as their thing. Like normally there's only like 2 robots there. For Team Dark there's 4, so
Yep.
makes it easier to miss one.
I couldn't even beat Gamma or Beta.
Okay, so
Now I hear the thunder.
yeah, that one was pretty loud.
Yeah.
So got our first team fight here. This one can go either way. I'm gonna try and lure Chaotix to just kind of fall off the edge, but they can just choose to do whatever they please.
Yeah, the manipulation for Dark vs. Chaotix and vice versa, they're both really difficult.
Ah, of course. Let's restart that.
Yeah. Like, you gotta be very on point with your movement.
Step back.
And it's like, as long as you stay close enough to the stage, then you can still, like, come back and, like, at least have them in a good position to body them. Still. And I gotta say, fighting against Team Chaotix is an absolute nightmare if they actually get to do stuff.
Yeah.
Because they probably have the smartest AI, all of them. You can't necessarily go for the manipulation strat to make them jump off after restarting either, because their AI is different after restarting.
I've had some
So,
luck
like,
getting them to
yeah,
those.
at that point it becomes luck whether it works, whether their AI is doing a proper pattern or not. It's still possible. It's just an even further decrease of your chance. Yeah, Team Chaotix can completely destroy you. They are really good at like switching to the proper formation to deal with whatever formation you are in.
I have to restart that
They
again.
have no chill. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Step back. Let us get it done.
Oh jeez. They are not giving me any mercy here. Okay, it's down to Charmy now. Okay, good.
Get out, Charmy! Get out! Go get some potato chips or something.
You should thank me for letting you.
Whew. Out of all of the team fights and all of the stories, Dark vs. Chaotix and Five versa, they are the fights that can get out of hand the easiest.
Oh yeah.
As shown here.
Alright, so coming up we got Casino Park. I'm gonna be doing a trick called pinball launching. You saw this with a super hard mode earlier. Same deal here. Just drop off your teammates and try to punch the pinball table. What happens is Rouge is going to be dropping down, and when she's trying to come back to Omega's fists, she'll just go flying past him now that he's on the pinball table. Oh. Well, unfortunately, didn't get enough height there.
Yeah, you gotta really make sure that you're like close to the edge of the 3-second mark after which they will respawn in order to get maximum height.
Still not getting enough height here.
Nah. It can be really finicky because like you want to go early just because you don't want to get the full 3 seconds, but you know.
Okay, good grief. I've never really had this much trouble with this.
You're also standing really close to the table. So you give yourself a little bit more room.
I didn't feel comfortable with that either. Ugh, jeez.
That one might have worked, but yeah.
This is a very awkward camera angle to deal with. Okay, that's better.
Yeah, that was good. This isn't necessarily like a bad idea to like continue to go for that, even if you get like basically like Allegro was doing, just to try over whenever you get one that isn't high enough. Like, you definitely made the right call right there, because you know it's decently likely that you get it next time, and the pinball tables are absolutely full of enemies and obstacles for Team Dark. It takes forever.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that I can't exactly remember the latter half of what's up on top of the pinball table, so okay. At least I got the second one first try.
Nice.
Okay.
Get the hard one first try.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay. So, last pinball table here. It's just a bit of a positioning you can deal with here, but nothing can't handle. Okay, I just want to clear out these enemies here. I'm going to try and start an orbit for a fire dunk and then cancel it. And just try to use Shadow's hitbox to clip through the laser. That's a trick that I use in Team Sonic to get past some lasers in Lost Jungle.
It works on every horizontal laser gate. And it's like there is a fast method where you just kind of do a rocket excel and switch to Rouge and hope for the best. But if you want to consistently flip through, then yeah, that is the way to go. Just get the shadow damaged and use his invulnerability frames.
Yep. Alright, so pretty big skip with the Bingo Highway coming up here.
And assume you're gonna want to focus on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same setup as Team
Indeed,
Sonic.
but it is complicated, so I'm just gonna go ahead and explain it again.
Yeah.
Also for the people who weren't around.
Yep.
Yep. So at first, the first part of the stage is basically just get through it, but once he gets to the right part of the stage, he can do a skip to skip the entire rest of the stage. And what he does is he throws Shadow and Rouge off the stage, and then he waits for the full 3 seconds that normally takes for them to respawn. But he makes sure there's no ground where Rouge will respawn, which will make the game store Rouge in the distance instead until there is ground for her to respawn on. He's gonna make sure there is no ground, basically. And every time he hits that spring, Omega's movement is locked, so he can hold forward for a while in order to manipulate where Rouge is, because you can still move her around even though she's stored in the distance. So he will get her in the right position in order to get to where he wants to go, which is the goal ring. And then he's gonna get back onto the normal table, do some more manipulation, and punch back onto the pinball table. And then switch to Rouge.
Okay, good. I didn't get the Power Flight either. Power Flight, a little glitch that can happen is the flight formation can break up and it looks like Omega's flying, but yeah, I'd have to, in that state, I'd have to swap to Omega in order to land on the ground, otherwise I'd swap back to Rouge and I'd just be
yeah, it's a very weird state.
Whoa, I went way too far. I'm probably going to die.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, that is dodgy.
Yep, I'm dead.
Rip.
I thought I might have held down onto the pinball table a little too long earlier.
Maybe.
I gave it an extra bounce, just
Yeah,
to be
in that
safe.
case. Yeah.
So yeah, gotta go all the way back to the beginning, unfortunately.
Now I should say that this
Whoa.
this trick saves like 1.5 minutes with Team Dark, so
Oop.
it's definitely gonna be worth it to try and go for it again. Shoutouts to Omega not coming back.
Yep. Oh.
Well, yeah, what he was saying about the weird state that can happen at random, it's basically you'll see Omega fall solo rather than as part of the entire formation. And in that state, the game still thinks you're flight formation even though you're only controlling Omega. And Rouge is she just stays behind him. And the draw distance is set on Rouge, so a lot of his visual cues would not be drawn in. And you also gotta make sure that you switch to the right formation, otherwise you get teleported to wherever Rouge is. You also cannot enter the tubes whenever you're in that state, but fortunately it doesn't happen that often. Often enough to be a problem though. But yeah, gonna do the same manipulation again. It is quite a complex trick that has to be done.
Okay, that was a little bit of a dodgy setup, but that should still work.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, so I'd usually be falling here for about 30 seconds.
That's roughly right, yeah. So if you did an extra bounce, then you probably would have had to put it at like 25 instead.
So, I'll make sure I actually turn my back here and see where I am.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be fine this time.
Yeah, this time should be good. Yep. Here we are. Aerial bingo.
All right.
Aerial bingo. Did you get bingo? Thank you. Bingo,
no.
except bingo.
Nah, I was a little too far off to get enough.
Yeah. I know that feel. That's the same problem. There's no bingo today, man. Rip.
Yep.
We need to tell Deku to go out of his way to get bingo on Team Chaotix.
Okay. Hey, I got the cutscene glitch.
Nice.
So, yeah, with what... Same thing happened to Ford. If you press B at the same time, at a certain time, you can actually just kind of mess up the cutscene models for the game, so... they'll do that.
It's very nice to get those with Team Dark as well, because they have some of the longest cutscenes.
Okay, so, yeah, I kind of stand behind so my teammates can line up and I can do some chained up homing attacks. So they'll die much more quickly there, so...
This is a very luck-based kind of fight, because he will want level 2 Rouge pretty quickly, just so he can get rid of some finances and stuff like that, and he also want level 3 Omega at some point.
Yep.
But it's unfortunately he got most of what he needs already.
Yeah,
he got all of everything.
Yep, everything's set.
Unfortunately, since you get a level up every 5 enemies, for Team Dark, since they get a lot of extra enemies, it's easier to get to level up. There's also going to be a couple of ways which is faster to Team Blast.
Got Omega being into a ballerina there.
Ballerina! That is the power in 5 formation states that could also happen during Bingo Highway.
Oh.
I like when that happens on the ground. It's Omega Ballerina.
I'll take it from here.
I meant to try and... There. Yep.
This is about the least interesting part about the game, honestly.
Yep.
The freaking team battles. Annihilate, charge, fire.
Annihilate.
Mission completed.
Yeah. Not the greatest Robot Carnival there, but...
Group of sentry robots destroyed.
Through it.
Getting through it.
So, now we actually get to see the complete stages that are a Real Canyon and World Station. We haven't actually seen the complete ones, only Team Dark gets the complete experience. Well, technically Team Chaotix, but they go to a different place at the end.
Yeah. Chaotix is actually a really fun stage to do Rail Canyon on, since you actually have to do 2 Bapus. But you'll see that when Deku does it.
Yeah.
This is probably my second favorite version of Rail Canyon.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. At the start, he's once again going to be doing the real switching between Shadow and Omega to get the grinding startup animation over and over again to accelerate things really faster. That is mostly what you're like balancing and jumping to skip certain sections, and he's gonna be doing a bop boost in a little bit, and that bop boost, Shadow has to be quite aware of where Shadow lands. The speed you get on a bop boost is determined by the distance between Shadow and the wall that you're bop boosting off of. So he has to make sure that Shadow falls in the right direction.
Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we should be good here.
Yeah,
Just
that
need
looked
to
like
land it.
that was a really clean bop boost.
Okay. Landed it. Oh, okay. Didn't land on the right rail I would like to have landed on, but it's fine.
That was very nice. Yeah, that is the, once again, the different setup for Team Dark in action. This is the setup for everything except Team Sonic, where you just kind of get the power character damaged and then you lean in to get shadow damage to right or something.
Alright, so right there I try to damage Omega so I can stand on top of the train there, because the train will hurt you. Now just let me kind of get up to the upper area.
As per Team Dark standards, better some enemies before you can progress. Gate a lot of that off. Ooh,
Yeah.
you got the tornado as well, very nice.
No, I didn't get the rail swap on that. I could actually go past that enemy if I swap between Omega quick enough, but I didn't get it.
Right before that, though, he did get like one of my favorite strats in the game, where he did a tornado on an enemy that was near the switches that he was hit, and then he essentially cancelled that tornado animation by hitting the rail, which launched him way forward.
Yep. Pretty clean rail canyon all the way through.
Yeah, that was a very nice rail canyon.
Piece of cake.
Rail canyon's probably one of my more practice stages across all teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that fun of a stage. Now comes probably my probably the least favorite stage. It's quite an evil stage. Hopefully I don't die to it. I had some clean runs earlier of it, so hopefully nothing dumb will happen.
This stage is pretty much entirely dependent on the cannon cycles. They shoot every 3.3 seconds, and Team Dark has to deal with all three of the cannons, so he gets to get good cycles on all of them.
Yep. Important thing to note is I swapped to Rouge before I hit the cannon. Oop. Okay, that was weird. I didn't mean to swap there, but try to swap to Rouge so I can line up all my characters and quickly enter the cannon. Yeah, hit the checkpoint for safety.
Smart. Don't be me. And yeah, basically whenever one of your teammates is not nearby when you enter the cannon, it takes absolutely forever for the teammate to track you down and get into the one. It can waste like up to 3 cannon cycles. It's pretty crazy. So he specifically switches to Rouge and then back to Shadow just to get everyone nearby whenever he jumps in the cannon.
Yep. So just switch, kind of hop off the rail there and just kind of fly up to the rails up above.
You don't need to deal with enemies to open cages and hit switches. No sir.
I didn't go for the swag strap, but just,
Yeah.
the moment I thought about it, I was like, oh, I should probably do this, but it's a little late for me to react to that.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that doesn't really save any time unless I've got...
If you do it, if you do it like really well, then it can save like a second. But you gotta get a really good hit for that.
Rouge wouldn't line up for me for a Rocket XL there, so...
Better save than dead.
Yep. So yeah, you can actually clip through these doors, but I'm not going to do that, at least for that door, because that's not really worth the time doing it if you don't get it first try. I might have to go for another door clip later down the line, but hopefully it won't come to that. We'll see a bit later.
He also got the level 3 shadow from the balloons and the checkpoints and all that so far.
Yep.
Which is very nice because that will give him wind physics on his homing attack to latch onto the pole later.
Just gonna drop down here because why not?
Indeed. You don't have time for your rails?
Alright, so thing I didn't get to mention earlier is that these trains are the bane of my existence, and pretty much everyone else's existence, because you can just easily clip out for almost no reason.
Those little panels that connect them, they are very easy to clip through, and I always jump over them even when there's no enemy near there.
Yeah. I don't know how many times
like,
I've
you only need to
clip down.
You only need to fall through that once in order to start jumping over it forever.
So yeah, Team Dark has a pretty easy bobsled section here compared to Team Sonic. Because Team Sonic has more lasers. For some reason, they thought, oh, we're not going to make it harder for Team Dark, we're just going to put spike balls everywhere.
They just thought spike balls are harder than lasers, right? But they kind of forgot that, oh right, those lasers are right after a camera change that doesn't always keep up. So they unintentionally made Team Sonic harder.
Unfortunately, I didn't get the glide to get over the wall there, but you get to see Gates of Hell.
Oh boy. The other backup method, where we just throw ourselves at a super thick door and hope we clip.
Alright. Had to make sure I saved Rouge there, or else I'd be waiting for the cannon for like 5 seconds or so. So I couldn't really abandon Rouge there. But yeah, that's Bolt Station. Not the best time I could have gotten, but at least it was deathless.
Yeah.
Just average.
Alright, so this is probably, aside from the team battles, this is probably my least favorite boss to deal with.
Dang, why is everybody I'm commenting for shitting on Beck Albatross? Beck Albatross is best boss.
It's fun if it's Team Sonic. I don't like it because Omega.
Fair enough. It's actually my favorite boss with every team except Chaotix because Vector has no invulnerability frames on his decks. But yeah, same kind of deal as with Team Rose here earlier. Just gonna call him back, keep going ham on the power character until every part of him is destroyed, and hopefully finish it off with a one shot.
Ah, couldn't get the last fire dunk. Just need one fire dunk to really just end this. Yeah. If you mistime that, you'll get shot down. You'll more than likely fall to your doom if you're in a really bad spot. Which is part of the reason why I hate this boss.
The actual boss in that boss is not Eggman himself, it's the robots.
Oh yeah.
It's the robots that sneak up on you and knock you off.
They are quite devilish. So now we're on to Frog Forest. It's actually, this bot boost is going to be set up somewhat similarly to Team Sonic's Super Hard mode, where it's just the same exact robot. It's going to give me similar distance. However, if I were to go for the IL strat, I could land at the goal range directly. But
oh yeah, and you have very little visual cues to work with, so you need a really good feel for where it is.
Yep.
I do not recommend people go for it in runs.
Okay, got first try.
Very nice. Thank you for showing me how it's done.
I have little trouble getting it with Dark, but Super Hard mode's a different story.
Yeah, it's like with Dark, you're already on the side of the robot, so you don't have to like get around him as much.
Well, at least you got the triple titty glide. I don't have that right to say that.
Aww. Oh well, together we have shown off every strat in Frog Forest.
Oh baby. Annihilate.
Annihilate.
Oh boy.
I do like the real switching. Not gonna lie.
I honestly do it way more than I probably should, especially with Rogue
No.
Canyon.
It's at Frog Forest. I always do it that much, just because the camera angles make it completely impossible to balance.
Yeah, I always kind of forget what direction I really need to balance.
Yeah.
So I was just like, no, just spam it. It's not gonna really lose me any time.
Exactly.
Alright, so little skip here. Lost Jungle, if I can get this. Okay. If I do a flight there, and if I try to start up a flight the moment I drop down on the ground, I can start up another flight without using any flight meter. I'm really terrible at explaining that, but
Yeah, it's basically the flight excel method, where Root gets a vertical boost of speed. You do that right as you land on the ground. So you get the vertical boost of
Ooh.
speed, but you also get your flight back.
okay, it saved it.
I'll take it from here.
Okay, that was a little
You
dodgy.
should've hit that there, dude.
Yeah, I could have waited for the fruit, but I'm impatient.
Doesn't look like we'll be able to move on.
No, you're fast.
Let's get moving.
Yep. I would normally... Ooh. That's weird. Didn't grab the vine. Oh.
Oh yeah, you jumped
Yeah,
over
I'm
the
dead.
vine.
But yeah, I would normally try to go for a mid-air kick there, but I'm not as confident with it right now since I'm on PAL 60.
Yeah. It's like mid-air kicks and rocket excels, like on small platforms, they are difficult as is. They are
Omega.
even more difficult on PAL 60 because you got to do your inputs 20% faster.
I also shot Omega.
Trash can on ice, everybody.
Yeah,
There he is, again.
Omega is a gift, and not the good kind of gift.
It's the kind of gift you return to the store, or at least that you want to return to the store, but your family will be over soon, and you know they're gonna check if the gift is still there, so you gotta keep it around.
It's that gift. It's like getting Skyrim for the 5th time on Steam. That's how I would explain it.
I knew we could do it.
I would explain it as someone unironically giving you bad rats on Steam. Unironically.
Yep.
So I'm drinking some juice right now, and it's pretty strong taste.
Thanks for the update, Polly.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Alright, so I'm just gonna try and kill this robot here fast enough. Just kind of, since I had invincibility there, I can just nudge up against the lasers without getting hurt. I can just kill that flying enemy there. So yeah, we're pretty much at the end of the Lost Jungle here. All we got is the crocodiles.
I'll take it from here.
Crocodile. Now, you know about Team Dark's time stop, right? If you do that right before going into the alligator section, the alligator still moves. It is the de-alligator. He does not care about space and time.
So yeah, it's most people have trouble with this because they'll try to do a bit of a rhythm to it, but there are a few spots where they'll throw you off intentionally. So it's just best to avoid doing it in a rhythm.
This proves my power.
Alright, so coming up we've got the next team fight, and it's a pain. Like, I mean...
Just undershoot, my dude. Just undershoot.
I mean,
Don't move, just undershoot.
Yep. Alright, let's see if they cooperate.
Not the best way to greet those you haven't seen in a while.
Plus, with that headphone, it looked like my twin.
Annihilate. Fire, fire. Fire, 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 fire.
Okay. Took care of them. Not the prettiest I've seen, but it still worked.
17 seconds, not too bad.
Sorry,
Yep.
but no time for greeting.
I somehow have the IL world record for that, and I'm
You
still
do?
shocked. Remember the when Team Dark, Team Sonic just came flying. Wait, was that Team? That might actually be Team Sonic. That I'm getting confused with, but sometimes when you reset, the teams can
Either way,
act
you
really
got really
strange.
lucky.
Are you sure this is the right?
It might have
place?
actually been Team
What's
Sonic's
up? Something on your
version.
mind?
Now that I think about it, but still, almost the same fight.
Regardless, you got really lucky. It's basically the gist.
Just who
Yeah. Okay, so time for spooky time. So yeah, Hang Castle. It's.
What's happening to
I wouldn't say it's all the same, but
It's basically the same.
yeah, you just have to clip through the door, and you're
We do.
free.
Yeah, you do a section, you clip through a door, you do a bop boost, and there you go.
You get flipped around, and nothing happens.
It is one of those really cool stages that has the unfortunate reality of being incredibly broken.
Switch is somewhere.
Ready, go.
From here. Hurrah!
Ah, didn't get enough height there, but I can
Hey.
probably save it. Ah, almost had it.
You try to save it by doing a Flight Excel right as the flight meter runs out, and then you can get a bit of a vertical boost. Didn't quite get a good enough one though.
Hey,
Nice
yeah.
accidental team, that's good.
Oh, I'm doing that on purpose.
Okay.
So I just wanted to make. I didn't want to spend too much time trying to get on the ramp again.
The pull is so fast up L60, I love this.
Yes, it's hilariously
It's so
fast.
good. It's so good.
So yeah, just drop down here onto the switch, and yeah. Oh, and look, we're going to drop down again and skip a bunch of platforming. Good stuff, game. I'm so glad they didn't have kill planes there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, okay. These robots can be a bit of a pain. They move around if you miss the Baku setup first try.
They don't always notice you when you start shooting again.
Okay. We good. That was a bit of a mess, but better than some other stages I've done.
Got there in the end, and that is still incredibly worse because this is one of the most, one of the bubbles that skips the most.
Yep. It's easily the freest bot boost for Team Sonic, but Dark is the. It's almost free, but
It's still the one that you gotta practice on, I'd say. Although
Yeah.
maybe one where the robots aren't as big of a
someone
problem.
there?
yeah. So when I drop down here, I want to make sure like I switch to Rouge and not actually move around, or else I'll go flying off. And it might kill me if I don't react properly.
What just happened? Alright, so that, just to reiterate for people who haven't been here before for the other explanations, that is a bot boost. What we do is we trick the game into thinking that the flight formation is complete by getting Shadow hit out of the totem on the same frame that Omega touches the ground. And that means that Omega will still be trying to grab onto him whenever you start a flight, and at a very high speed at that. And he will direct Rouge with him. If you put a wall in between Shadow and the rest of the team, though, then you can get all of that speed in the opposite direction of the wall.
Oh, come on. Okay. This camera angle is a little wonky. There we go. So yeah, Mystic Mansion. Unfortunately, what am I doing? I'm still kind of doing Team Sonic strats, but Team Dark does not have the same luxury as Team Sonic when it comes to the end part of Mystic Mansion, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, unfortunately the robots are on different platforms, not anywhere close to the switch, so can't get through.
Yep.
And Mystic Mansion Team Dark is actually kind of a slog because you have to do a lot of manual.
Okay, so this wall here does not exist. It's just not there. It's not there on the original Xbox version, but for some reason it's there on the 360.
I'm pretty sure it's like it's somewhat there, but the collision just doesn't work on it properly. And it's like the 360 is a bit more powerful, so the collision works better. So you can
Yeah. That's also part of the reason why you can actually go a little bit farther with the bot boost and hang castle on the original Xbox, but it doesn't really save any time after what we tested.
looks pretty cool though.
Oh yeah. You also get like probably the weirdest camera angle in existence. Okay. Ooh.
Right now,
bounced up there.
Allegro is kind of having the catch-22 of like, usually Omega is the best person, or the best character to defeat the robots with, but you also kind of want him at level 3. Very powerful at level 3.
Yep. So just gonna light the torches here. They try to bait you thinking you had to defeat that armored robot down there. Not so.
Nope. No, I feel like. But yeah, it's like you don't get power-ups for the formation that you were in when you destroy the robots. On one hand, you need them to destroy things. On the other hand, level up.
Yep. Now I want to make sure I had level 2 Rouge before I go to the ending section, because it makes shooting down the enemies a bit easier. Or at least level 1 Rouge, but I don't know. Just makes having a leveled up Rouge in general makes the ending section a bit easier.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So time to light more torches. So right here, this layout's a bit more similar to Team Sonic, at least the standard Team Sonic run, not with super hard mode. Right here I'm going to actually use Team Blast just so I can freeze these pumpkin heads, because they're going to cause a lot of trouble when I'm trying to hit these switches.
Oh yeah, you gotta leave characters on the switches, and those pumpkin heads will very consistently knock them off.
Yep.
So that's time stop
I'm actually going to do speed first.
Okay.
So they recommend you use speed here. Just use Omega.
Oh, I just use Rouge.
That's fair.
It's like I basically you use everything except speed.
Yeah, speed is very dangerous. Don't want to ever use it in this section, except for trying to jump down or jump across the bridges, but I don't do that out of safety.
Oh yeah, small platforms, 20% faster input. It's risky.
So yeah, Team Blast here. That's pretty much Mystic Mansion as long as I don't fall down to something. But yeah, with Team Sonic and Super Hard Mode, you could actually clip into that cage if you hit the switch to go to your power section. Because there's just a giant egg hammer that can just allow you to clip in and hit the switch and skip the whole section, but Dark doesn't have that luxury.
Unfortunately not. Oh well. So, you ready for the endless slog of Robot Storm?
Oh, am I?
What do you think,
Oh,
Omega?
man. This one just drags on, and a lot of the waves have so many robots that it's better to just Team Blast Glitch into it. It's nuts.
Yeah, Team Blast Glitch is a savior for this.
For those who are unfamiliar with it, he's going to be doing a thunder shoot with Rouge on the same frame that he switches to a different formation. And this will trick the game to doing a thunder shoot every frame for a couple of seconds. So with that, you can get full team dance meter very, very quickly. And a lot of this is going to be exactly that. So probably if there's any donations or any incentives you want to plug, now would be a good time.
I totally forgot there were Wizard Slayer. I should have done Team Blast there, but oh well.
When in doubt, Team Blast.
Yep.
Said if there's anything I need to plug. French Pressure is pretty good, I guess. That's about all I got to say right now.
Alright, in that case, I'm gonna do your job for you. Alright, so we got a donation bid war going on for Sonic Advance for which character you want to see. Right now, N-Man is barely surviving, and I once again called N-Man my old username.
That's fine.
I'm
giving him a year.
Yeah. I'm not really sure why, with you of all people, I have the most difficulty with a name change. I think it's just because it's so different. I've been saying it for a long time.
Chaos control.
Yeah, I don't like doing that phase right there with those egg pawns. With,
Very fair. Very
without
fair.
doing Team Blast, because that's a pain.
Where did you come up with Allegro?
It's actually a musical term, if I recall correctly.
Oh boy. I'm dead.
Rip dude, the vortex is beginning. But if I recall correctly, Allegro is like the musical term for like a brisk or fast pace.
Yep. Except I'm not going in at fast pace now.
You're getting stuck in the vortex.
Hey. I mean,
every time I see it, I think of Allegra.
That's just the nature of this game. One moment you're going fast, the other you're not.
Chaos control. Chaos control.
This boss fight always makes me think of a long retired runner who usually did like one run a year called Jimmy for Show. On his first run, he got like stuck in the vortex for a storm for like 20 minutes.
This is the ultimate power.
It was, I don't know the exact number, but it was a long time.
Chaos control.
So yeah, I'm probably just gonna be spamming Team Blast over and over again here.
That is basically Robot Storm. But yeah, to finish the plug, you can donate to which character you want to see for Sonic Advance. I would definitely recommend Amy.
Amy is
I
a
like
really
Amy.
good choice.
It's also a really good run. But
that's not what I
it's
wanna
your
do.
choice. If you want Knuckles, if you want Tails, if you want Sonic.
Yeah,
it's all up to
Knuckles
you.
is winning right now with $2. You can literally change the whole marathon. $3.
Oh boy.
Chaos control.
Let's see. I'm just gonna whoop up the schedule and see what else we have going on.
Eggman Land, we have a bunch of soundtracks, Good Wars.
Chaos control.
Oh yeah. Eggman Land skipless speedrun. I kind of want to see that. I'm very curious what Josh has
I think
in
it's
mind
like
for
11 minutes.
That's going to be very interesting.
Like, I've seen that stage speedrun with a lot of the skips, so I've never seen him try to do the parts fast without the huge skips. Let's see. Ooh, if
Sonic
we
and
get
Blaze Barrage.
indeed Sonic and Blaze for Rush, so language bid war for Sonic Generation, soundtrack bid war for
Chaos control.
8 o'clock.
11
Doctor. Stop
The Sonic R, we
Doctor.
need 850 to sing every song. If we don't get to 850, we'll have to sing Super Sonic everything.
Well, at least you're singing like songs.
Yeah. Everybody.
Everybody.
See, it was the finale, but like, he couldn't do that, so I had to change it to...
I mean, the finale is still gonna be really good. I'm really looking forward to seeing this like
Yeah, I
choo-choo
wish it
adventure
wasn't
shit out of
at-
that joke.
I wish it wasn't at 4 AM, but
Like I'm really
Yeah.
happy it is because now it's actually so early that I can get up early
like
enough
9
for it.
a.m.
Exactly, it's like 9:30 a.m. for me, so I can actually get up and watch it.
I'm like the weirdest American. I run this marathon in like European time, but I'm not European. It's weird. Like most US marathons start at like 4 p.m. Nah, we start at 9 a.m.
Oh
every
yeah.
year.
Oh, yeah.
So, made out of Robot Storm. Kind of just really heavy with the chaos control, huh?
Oh yeah.
We
That's
did have
okay.
a donation
We're through it.
from Diamond for
Hey.
$10 that says Knuckles for advance. So now Knuckles is up to $12.
Oh damn, dude.
Knuckles the
I'm an
enchilada.
chuckling.
Okay, if you're playing on PAL 60, this is like the one cutscene you can really tell that the audio is so distinct from. Because the audio actually will overlap.
I can imagine there's a lot of text in this one.
Yep.
We're flying very
Alright,
high.
so
We might even
Egg
be at
Fleet,
the edge of space.
we're going to be skipping doors.
Oh yeah.
Now hopefully I can get enough speed here. Unfortunately couldn't get past that, but I can just kind of hop over the cannon and get past the door. Because they thought that one through.
Yeah, and it's really weird. It's like pretty much every single one of those gates is like that, except for a singular one in Final Fortress where they put a mile-high invisible wall on it.
Yep. that one is very strange. That's just, I don't know what they're thinking. What the devs were thinking in this game's development.
Me neither, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting to me. I like it.
Why so many?
A part of me doesn't like it because that one would be very easy to skip as well, just by bouncing on the enemies that are always in front of it.
Yep.
Those guys look pretty tough. Careful now.
Alright, gonna do a similar trick to what was seen in super hard mode. Just gonna run up against the ship there.
Oh yeah.
Looks very swag in a way.
I love the way that looks, man. I love it. You know what else I love? I love me some auto-scrollers. Oh yeah,
Scrolling.
dude.
Yeah.
Auto-scrollers. I have no idea what accent I'm doing.
You're doing a Brooklyn accent.
Okay, apparently I'm doing a Brooklyn accent.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm not from Brooklyn.
Good old Alabama.
Yeah. So Shadow there has the gift of light speed, so I can actually just use those trails of rings and get up there, because why not? I don't know why that's not there for Sonic. But
So I didn't think we've mentioned this at any point, and it's just like, I just really like that you can target those cannons, so it's your turn to go, and you just get to the upper part. But that's been in the run so long that I consider it so normal, but I'm just like, oh yeah, we do that.
So yeah, I would normally go for Bop. Well, not for Team Dark. I would never go for the Bop boost because of how picky it is. But yeah,
With the Team Dark's Bob boost and Egg Fleet, it's very easy to hit the first kill button.
oh yeah.
Ridiculously so. So I don't blame you for playing it side.
Yeah, it's about the same setup as what Team Rose would normally do, but it's still... I find it to be the hardest bot boost in the entire game, but Sid has other opinions.
Yes. I don't know, that one... It is definitely up there. It is definitely up
Indeed.
there. But try doing Rock Forest Rose 1 or the Ocean Palace Rose 1 and then come back to
Mhm.
And it's like, Rose is actually the one that's the same one as Team Dark, except the Team, like, Amy's position is even more precise.
Yep. So, back to the cookie cutter battleship. It's pretty much the same, except there's no fan and there's no trail of rings for Shadow to follow, so it's going to be very similar movement. Except right here, we're not going to be doing Team Sonic's ending normally. You just have to destroy the robot here and break open the cage. And that's pretty much Shadow Fleet.
You.
You'd think Team Dark would have more explosions, you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure why they don't get the cinematic ending. It's rude. Shadow's edgy enough for that.
Yep.
Oh well.
Okay, time for Final Fortress. I've been practicing this one. This used to be a very troublesome stage for me, but I kind of figured out what I'd been doing wrong. But it's we got another bot boost at the end, where I'm going to be landing on the ending rail section. So right here, I would like to have gotten a fast enough glide where I can bypass all that, but with the E2000 and the egg pawns there, but it's kind of tricky to time that. Alright.
Allegro fell down.
I fell down, and I can't get up. I wanted to hit that balloon there so I could get a Team Blast, but it's fine. I wanted to do that just so I could not have to do Team Blast glitch before one of the egg hammers coming up.
When in doubt, Team Blast.
Yep. It's not like it's a hard trick. So.
I love that little skip where we just kind of fly onto the wall and then onto the rail with like a fan or a pole, depending on the team.
Yeah.
It's so easy, yet it took us like forever to find it.
Alright, so here I need to make sure I cancel Team Blast glitch so I can lower the door, because otherwise the door will just be staying there for about 9 seconds. It's the cooldown. Well, is it like 10 seconds? I can't remember. Cooldown.
I forget.
Well, it's some time, so we'd have to wait.
Cinematic loop. Oh,
yeah, I didn't feel confident with the loop skip there.
I am probably gonna have issues when I switch to L60 because I gotta do it faster than I get a different timing.
Alright. So I'm gonna set up against these robots. And looked like that robot was about to jump off the edge there. Okay.
Robot-chan, no.
It doesn't have to be this way.
You saved him by killing him.
Yeah. But yeah, clean bot boost. I'm going to...
That is... Oh, that's actually a really good camera for falling. Yeah.
Yep. I'm actually going to land on here. Take the granny strats.
Dude, granny strats all the way. It's a very expensive bot boost to fail. Trust me, I've done it.
Okay. So
I like how you were going for the left rail, and then at the last second you remembered, oh right, I gotta land on the middle one.
Yeah.
Like you're not escaping me. I saw that.
Okay, but yeah, clean Final Fortress for the most part.
Not taking this
That was pretty good.
Yeah. So now we've got Egg Emperor, and it's the most annoying form of Egg Emperor because we've got giant eagles that will descend upon you and bring death upon you.
Oh yeah,
if that makes
there
sense.
are so many enemies in Team Dark's Emperor. But it's gonna be the same deal as with Team Rose. Gonna get level 2 flight to make Lucius attack the damage, and then make that keep bouncing back onto Egg Emperor, who's gonna be moving backwards. Fast. So yeah, definitely get ready on time.
Yeah, hopefully this won't give me too much trouble here. Ooh, okay. Got sniped on the first wave. Okay, yeah, it's a... Ooh. Okay. Thanks a lot, Rouge.
Oh yeah, part of the team right there.
Okay, that was funny. I thought I could recover that, but his sword wave still killed me.
Ooh, wow, you got super comboed right there. That is nuts, my dude.
Okay, now that's how you properly set it up.
Oh yeah.
Time.
Gee.
GG.
114.47.
114.
There you go, you're now back on schedule.
Yep.
Alright, so
I'm
hey,
actually-
with that, every, like, all 5 main categories of heroes have now been in a Sonic Speed.
Yep. You said that was a 114?
Yep. 114 real time.
Have you never had Team Dark?
Nope, because
Yeah.
I kept refusing to do it.
And I almost didn't submit this, to be very honest.
Team Dark is, like, not really looked after all that much in the heroes community.
It's
Yeah.
it's a tricky one. But yeah, thank y'all for having me. Well, I actually have 2 more runs later tonight, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
So next we've got Deku with the Chaotix.
That is going to be a damn sick run. It's nothing like the other 3 teams.
Yep. It's a real treat when Deku's running.
Oh yeah. He's the best runner of this game, by far. You're gonna love that.
Yep. But yeah,